We're going to start working with some of the basic tools of Illustrator. And to do this, we're going to create a little digital version of this origami Pikachu. So I've already folded one, and then I'm going to take a picture of it and work directly on top of it. So I'm going to use Photo Booth instead of a camera. So let me find Photo Booth, go to the launch pad, and where is it? Maybe it's in Other? No. Oh, there it is. Okay. If you are having a hard time finding it, you can also use the Command Space key to bring up the search, and you can look for it that way too. So here's my little Pikachu that I folded. We're going to try to hold it so I'm not blocking it. And then I will take a picture, try to hold steady. Okay. And then I can drag this to my desktop to get it out of Photo Booth. And then let's put it over here. And then open with Adobe Illustrator. And it might take a moment to launch depending on how fast or slow your computer is. Now from there, we can start working with Pikachu. Your Illustrator may look a little bit different, but for the most part, this is what you should see. You should see your tools on the left, and some panels on the right, and hopefully Pikachu in the middle. So let's talk about what we see first off. My artboard, this little black line on the inside, doesn't quite fit where he is. So I'm going to click on this tool down here, this artboard tool, to make it better match his size. Maybe there. Okay. And I'm going to start using some of the other tools to start drawing him. I'm going to use the pen tool first. Here's the pen tool. You can also get to it by pressing P. And now I'm going to draw around my Pikachu. Now I have two choices here. Do I want to do the inside and then the ears? I don't think so. I think I want to do the whole outside. So I'm going to click, and then click, and click. It's sort of like connect the dots. Oh yeah, you are going to see probably some weird inside color, and that's okay. We can change that in a moment. Don't worry too much about it. Okay, and then one back where I started. So now this shape has been closed. In the bottom here, you can see this fill and this stroke. Those are the colors for this. So right now we have no stroke and we have a white fill. This white fill is what's creating this here. So I'm going to change this for right now just to be black, right? Wrong color, that's okay. I'm going to actually click this little arrow to switch it. Now I have a black outline and no inside. I will make him yellow, of course, but I want to be able to see the other parts, right? So that I can actually draw them. Let's do his eyes and his cheeks next, because I think it's the next easiest part. So I'm going to go to where I have this rectangle tool. I'm going to click and hold down, and now you can see I have other options, like the ellipse tool. The ellipse is basically an oval, right? But if I make that oval have the same width and height, then it should be a circle. So I'm going to start around here-ish, kind of where this line, this imaginary line, if I extended it, and this line here would meet, so kind of here-ish. I'm going to click and hold down and drag out, and if I hold shift on my keyboard while doing it, it will make it a perfect circle. So there's one, and I could try to draw another one that's exactly the same, or I could just click on my circle, Command C, Command V, right, copy paste. If you're on a PC, it's going to be Control C and Control V. And now I know these two circles are exactly the same. And now I want to draw circles for the cheeks. So go back to my ellipse tool. My circles were not very good on the cheeks. I was having a hard time because of the way the paper was folded. So it's not going to be exact, but maybe somewhere around there-ish. I think that looks good. And it's okay if it's not exact, right? Because I'm going to be coloring the inside of this all yellow, so you're not going to see the difference between these. So once again, I'm going to, with this one clicked on, Command C, Command V, and I can put this over here-ish, kind of where it belongs. And now I need to draw maybe this part, or maybe the glare. Let's do the glare first. So oval tool again, holding shift to make perfect circles. There we go. I'm going to click on it, Command C, Command V, kind of put it where it needs to go. And I'm going to fill these in now. Not everything, because I don't want to fill in Pikachu's head, because I still need some parts. But I'm going to fill in these circles because they're pretty easy. So let's do the glare first. Down here, I'm going to double click this fill box. Tell it to be white. I'm going to double click this fill box. Tell it to be white. Then I'll do the eyes. Double click. Tell it to be black. And we'll try this again. There we go. I must have just messed up. Click, double click the fill box, make it be black. Try again, make it be black. There we go. And then his little cheeks. So this is red, and this is red. Okay. So for the ears, I'm going to grab the pin tool again, right? Because this is not a square or a perfect shape. It's a kind of a wonky triangle that would be hard to recreate with shapes. So it'll just be easier just to draw it the same way I did the outline for the rest of Pikachu. Default color is red because I was just using red. I can go down here and double click and make it black. There we go. And now I'll draw the other one. And this time the default color should be black. Yep, and we can see that it is. Now I need to draw this part. This part's a little tricky. So if I click the starting point and I click the ending point and I'm holding the mouse button down, I can sort of drag and try to get this line to go where I want it to go to look right. There we go. Now I don't want it to be filled. Instead I want just the outline. And we can see it's still being a little weird, right? If I press escape, I've finished the stroke. And if I go down here, with this one clicked on, not this one, right? I want to make sure that this one is clicked on, that this box is in front of the other. I can click no, and now we have just the line there, which it's a little bit hard to see, but we'll be able to see it better in a moment. And now I want to do this one, so I'm going to kind of click here-ish for the start of the point. Here's where it's going to go. I'm going to drag it down to where I want it to be, about there-ish. And now if I try to do the next, it's going to be like a weird S, and that's not what I want. So the fastest way to do this right now is just to press escape to end the line. Just to be easier, I'm just going to copy and paste it. So Command C, Command V, and now his little smile is identical anyway, and I think I like that. Alright, so now I need to make his face yellow, his head yellow, so I'm going to click on this line, right? That's the line that we first drew. And I can double click down here in the fill, and I can make it sort of a nice Pikachu orangey yellowy color, right? And then what about these lines? These lines look a little not great because they're so thin. I think they need to be thicker. So how do we do that? Move those around a little bit using my arrow keys. Okay. So when we are clicking on things, in the panels over here on the right, I didn't talk about it, but we have properties, right? If you don't see properties, maybe you see layers or library or something else, click properties. If you don't see properties there, go up here to window and make sure you have properties shown there, right? And then you should see it. So with properties shown, we can see here the stroke is only 1. I can increase that, right? I think that starts to look a little bit better. I could increase the stroke on here, maybe 3. I think that looks pretty good, right? And perhaps most importantly, the stroke for these, because it looks not great being that thin. I think that starts to make it look a little better. How thick did I make this one? 8. And this one, 6. Let's make them both 8. Okay. Okay. And then maybe I don't like how these edges are. I can, or not the edges, but like the ends being straight like that. Maybe I want them to be a little differently. So if I click stroke, I can also see the end caps. So maybe I want them to be rounds, right? I think they're much cuter rounds. I do the same for his nose. And there we go. I think that looks pretty good. So I've got my little digital Pikachu. I can delete my original photo, or I can keep my original photo. Do I want to have sort of this this digital physical reality that are mixing, or do I want to just have Pikachu by himself? That's sort of a judgment call. I think I'll leave mine that way. My artboard's not quite big enough. When I was drawing him, I guess with the stroke it went a little bit out. So I'm going to modify my artboard again. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and save him. So if I do File, and I do Export, there's multiple ways, but this is just a quick, easy way for right now. I'm going to do Save for Web, the old way. Close. So here I can see different formats like GIF or JPEG or PNG. Because I'm mixing a photograph and digital graphics, JPEG is probably the best one. So I'll do that one. We can see how big it's going to be. We can see these different things. So all that looks pretty good. So I'm going to go down here and I'm going to click Save. I'm going to tell it where I want it to go. I'm just going to put it on my desktop for right now. Call him Digital Pikachu. It's going to do its little thing. Once it leaves, it should be done. So if I open my Finder, you can see here he is, Digital Pikachu. Nothing super complicated, but a nice easy start to playing with some of the tools in Adobe Illustrator.